Hello everyone. After a flurry of news rolling through the month of January, I thought it would be a nice change of pace to take a look at one of the historical events rooted in ufology as a staple. As we know from history lessons, on the 7th of December 1941, the Empire of Japan attacked the American port of Pearl Harbor, which led to direct involvement of the USA in the Second World War. Today we are taking a look at a home defense event which remains unexplained to this day. During the conflict, America braced itself for possible attacks, of course. The West Coast in particular was deemed vulnerable to strikes due to the operations of the Japanese fleets on the Pacific Ocean. It was the night of 24th February 1942 when the air raid sirens went off in the city of Los Angeles. The Office of Naval Intelligence issued a warning of an impending attack within the next 10 hours, and the alerted defense facilities reported flares and blinking lights in their field of vision. That evening alert lasted from about 7 to 10-ish p.m. that night. After a few hours of peace and quiet, the alert was issued once again, and this time the sirens were heard throughout the entire county at 2:25 hours on the early morning of February 25. The military authorities imposed a total blackout in the area, and full-scale military readiness followed suit. At 3:16 a.m., the 37th Coast Artillery Brigade stationed in the city opened fire at an aircraft reported in their area of operation. 12.7mm air defense machine guns and 12.8-pound anti-aircraft shells filled in the night skies, their explosions lighting up the air. A total of over 1,400 shells were fired that night, with the cannonade lasting a full hour. The fire caused damage on the ground, with 5 civilian deaths, 3 caused by car accidents in the blackout and 2 by heart attacks due to stress. Buildings were damaged by the falling debris from the anti-aircraft shells. The entire event was reported in the news across the entire country later that same day. What caused such an alarm in one of the biggest American cities, though? The Secretary of the Navy, Frank Knox, provided an explanation a few hours after the event, during a press conference. According to him, the entire event was a false alarm triggered by anxiety and war nerves. The Army put forward an explanation that the accident was caused by a false flag intelligence operation and the use of commercial airplanes as an act of psychological warfare. However, many people did not believe this to be the actual cause of the events. This notion was further bolstered by the admission of Japan after the war, who stated that there was no action from their side over Los Angeles that night. The uncertainty and speculation around the event led to an official investigation in 1983. This investigation claimed that the massive artillery fire was initially caused by a balloon firing a red flare just after 3 a.m., which in turn triggered panic. As the anti-aircraft batteries opened fire, the exploding ordnance lit up by searchlights from the ground were simply taken for enemy aircraft, causing a domino effect. That said though, people in the UFO circles focused on a photo published in Los Angeles Times on 26 of February 1942, in the aftermath of the night shelling. It shows searchlights focused on a group of objects which some ufologists claim to be exactly that, UFOs operating with or from a mothership, which then would be the actual target of the entire affair. Let us pause here and think for a moment. Would that be possible? While there is no evidence other than said photo pointing out at the possibility of extraterrestrial involvement, some of the usual hallmarks of UFO sightings do check out in this case. Firstly, UAPs or UFOs are often drawn to military activity and human conflict in general. Such instances have been described as far back in time as BC reports coming from ancient Rome, for example. Secondly, the west coast of the United States is universally considered to be one of the hot spots on the UFO map of the planet. Some of people with alleged insider knowledge, most notably and recently the veteran lawyer Danny Sheehan involved with the UFO whistleblowers, put forth claims that there is a possible underwater UAP base located near the US-Mexico border in relative proximity to Los Angeles. The entire area is also not that far away from one of the best-known UAP encounters in recent history, the 2004 Nimitz incident. Obviously, the evidence in this case is not as direct and not as strong as in many other encounters. However, the Battle of Los Angeles found its place and some very strong supporters in the UFO community, and thanks to them it has become a part of the wider UFO lore. What do you think about it, reviewers? Was it a simple accident that led to the shelling, or was there perhaps indeed a non-human visitations involved? Let me know in the comment section down below. At this point, I am yet unsure as to what the topic of the next video will be. I am tempted to take a look at the situation with the drones, with recent sightings and strong signals from eyes on the ground in the northeastern US and in Denmark, when one of the key airports in Copenhagen was temporarily shut down due to drone activity. Then again, we also still have many cases from the past to look at, such as the Pascagoula incident, for example, as we have not touched the topic of abductions for a long while. If there is anything specific that you would like to hear about, let me know. Until then, stay warm, stay safe, thank you so much for all your support, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you soon in the next one. Take care.